Right, continuing with this marathon of audio for about 5 different videos in one go. It's back with stage 10. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves some new fucking traps. Because we're starting to see the limitations of the old ones we were using, and we need more. We need more violent ways of disposing of people. So we're going to grab the Thunder Wall, because it has two very important purposes. It shoves people, and it electrifies things. I'm going to be making a lot of use of the electrification ability, simply because you drop it in an area of water and the whole area becomes dangerous to everyone. This makes it very useful for keeping people where you want them when you need to hold them there for longer than your bear trap or whatever will do. That, and because it's a level 2 trap, it now shoves out even further, thus ensuring maximum damage to everyone. Because seriously, gotta have that damage. So from this point on, you'll see me buying about 1 trap per stage for the most part. Sometimes 2. Every now and again none, so I can save up for something particularly expensive. See, I knew there was a Cecilia in this game. I just mistook which one was which. And oh boy. Massive info dump right there. And this is going to be interesting because I think this is going to come back an awful lot. In fact, I know it's going to come back a fair bit because I've played some of those stages. And yeah, Cecilia's right. And she's also right there. There is a reason. No one has gotten us because we have brutally murdered everyone who has tried. With the sole exception of those who escaped before we could finish brutally murdering them, and with us only half brutally murdered. Or is that brutally half murdered? I'm not quite sure of the legal terminology here. This is a bit of a shorter stage. Not quite as many people for us to kill. Which is, you know, a bit of a downside if you're me, and a bit of an upside if you're looking to make rather short videos. And of course, because they're coming at me from 2 different directions, I kind of need to start working on something, you know, shortly. Because I don't want 2 people on top of me. It becomes difficult to deal with them because you got your trap recharge time and all this shit. And now we're going to demonstrate the use of the Thunder Wall, I believe. Yes, we are. We are indeed. So we're going to put it right on the watercourse with the bear trap. We're going to shove them off the edge. And we're going to drop a flare rock on them. For thoroughness' sake. And by thoroughness I mean violence. I'm going to use the launcher just to take a bit of a shortcut here because I really... Motherfucker. I had kind of relied on her coming in via the door and not being the sort of person who randomly throws knives at people. There's the bear trap. Here's the son of a bitch. There's the Thunder Wall. As you see, it did a fair bit of extra damage there because of the electrification. And there's the flare rock. Because sometimes life's a bitch. And even more often, so am I. I'm not having my usual talent for, you know, laughing at absurd situations here. Because on one hand, there's no single situation that's completely fucking absurd. Once you've bought into the idea that a small girl with emotional problems can summon up a tremendous number of traps with which to violate people. No, wait, not violate, end. That other one, yeah. And Gemini thinks Cecilia is her sister, so I'm guessing that's not a blood relation or she'd actually know this. And now we got more people coming, and we're going to need another trap set up because seriously, I don't think he's going to fall for the same one again. And to be honest, I don't actually remember what I was thinking when I set this one up. I don't remember how I killed the next guy, so we're about to see. I will remind people that the magnet wall's pretty worthless for the most part, as are the vacuum floor, sorry, not so useless. The magnet wall, kinda, because it's very hard to trigger properly. It doesn't have the area of effect that the floor does. It just pulls in a straight line, whereas the floor will grab everything within a couple of blocks and, you know, dredge it in. So, yeah, the magnet wall, as you can see me not using it, is pretty piss weak. Well, you don't know because you won't see me use it. That's how piss weak it is. I mean, I've used the fucking arrow slit, and that's one of the worst traps in the game. Even if I am a bit repetitive with my default strategy of shove it in the water wheel to get rid of it. You know, it's like the medieval equivalent of garbage disposal unit. But, you know, that's Rutger up over there, who's going to run down. I'm hoping he's going to make a beeline straight for me. And then I'm going to shove him in the water wheel. That's pretty much all there is to it. Except I'm going to have to do it fast, because the other guy's going to be on me like, well, like something unpleasant on something equally unpleasant. So, you know, like, I'd say flies on dot shit, as I set off the electrification there. Really missed out. I should have used the Thunderwall there, but I didn't. And it's a bit late for Mercy when you're underneath the giant spikes of a water wheel. Because, seriously, at that point, Mercy is, you know, something we grant to the living. And by then, you've pretty much walked out of the realm of the living into the realm of the recently deceased and soon to be hellbound. And again, I'm staying in this room a lot in this stage. I don't remember why. I'm presuming it's because I got bored with all the ways of dealing death in the other levels. Possibly. Maybe not. And I'm just going to apologise in advance if my coherence starts to go down as these videos go on. They're long videos. This is probably the shortest one at 12 minutes. Most are about 15. I've got everything from stage 9 to stage 14 to do in one go. And I'm having a few drinks while I do it because this is just a lot of talking. I've got to lubricate my throat. Pun only partially intended, and I know some of you are going to make a joke about that. Fuck you, or rather, don't fuck you, because not my style. Now, this guy likes to throw explosives at people. Now, if I keep dodging long enough, he's going to get and running backwards, because he likes to keep a specific distance from you. I'm going to make him run forward, right into the water, which I'm going to electrify, and drop him off the edge. Onto the spring floor. And there's the vase, right on his head. Now I'm going to take a bit of a shortcut by dropping myself off the edge here, because the vase is going to keep him walking forward, right under the bridge. And it counts as part of the combo, because he was still under the effects of the electrified vase on his head. That's really not a sentence I thought I'd be saying. And just as he says, is this her secret? I'm pretty certain the fact that Bianca kills people indiscriminately isn't really a secret at this point. Because after all, we let a few of them get away. Unintentionally, but they did get away. And I just realised our current pursuer is called Helsing. Somebody in the localization department has no originality. Or possibly a very warped sense of humour. Now, I don't think I've shown people this room before, but this room only has 2 real things to deal with, or to use, I should say. It has a lot of top props, 4 of them in fact, which is probably about 4 more than you need to deal with most people, and about 2 more than you really want. There's also the annoyance that the bottom 2 topple props, as I found out much to my dismay later on, you have to be really careful in using because they're not actually effective at taking people out until the top 2 topple props have been cleared. Because if you try and drop them across the stairs, you notice a little gap down there that they're underneath, is such that they won't actually connect. They'll sort of fall across and make a bridge thing, and then disappear. They won't actually land on people, and I was immensely disappointed to find that out. But the top 2 are very, very good at this sort of thing. As you see me run through a couple of trap ideas with this one. I'm going to run down and grab the health pack here. It won't actually give me any more points or anything, because you have... The bonus for no damage is not for finishing the level with no damage on your health, but it's for not actually taking any damage throughout the entire level. Another thing I was kind of disappointed to learn, because seriously, I kind of wanted to hoard this thing for massive points. So I'm rearranging my traps here, because I've got a better trap combo in mind. Though it doesn't involve the Thor hammer quite so much. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to drop the Blitz Vase on him, so that he'll gladly walk in front of both. Well, not both, I'm only going to use one of the pillars at this point. Which means I'm going to need to get rid of the bear trap. I'm going to replace it with the spring floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hope he walks across the vase, which I'm hoping spawns in time, even though it means I will take a hit. Regardless. He's now going to walk forward, getting zapped repeatedly. And I'm going to drop a topple prop on him. Then, as he gets up, I'm going to spring floor him down. And I'm going to run up and I'm going to activate the chandelier. Now at this point you're probably thinking I missed, but I really didn't. I just kind of liked the imagery of it rolling over the top of him. If I'd been quick, I could have actually comboed it so that it fell on him while he was in midair. But I figured that was probably a little bit too cruel, and more of a pain in the ass than I wanted to deal with. And Cecilia's striking the standard badass relaxation pose. Yeah, I don't like that might there. Now I'm going to hand over my only real weapon against people. It's not going to be to people who say they might not kill me. And Albert, who I think is wearing a t-shirt emblazoned with slap. I may be the only one who just saw that, but anyway. And he's going to proceed to disappoint me, having noticed by not slapping a bitch. And we get more story dump, and Albert is apparently very surprised to see Cecilia around. And now we get a... See, I'm telling you, it says slap right on the front of his shirt. And Albert is spooked shitless by something here, which he doesn't want to talk about. But we'll find out more in that in the next installment of Hypnos' Adventures of a Raving Madman.